Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Working Trader, where we look at the Euro USD and GBPUSD and come up with trade ideas for the day, if there are any. So, jumping right into it, looking at Forex Factory. So, today's a Tuesday. We do have our impact news on the GBPUSD, which is the claimant count change. And then we have for the USD core retail sales, and at some point Fed chair designate testimony. Okay, so that's the news we have. So let's look at the charts and see what we can expect to see happen. So daily swing is bearish. Okay, we had this break of structure, and then price has been pushing up. Okay, so this break of structure, you could look at it as a sweep of these of this low, okay, of these lows, all this liquidity which is resting here, that's been taken, which is now the fuel for price to push up. Okay, that's one possibility. Or you can look at it as, okay, we had a break of structure, price is pushing up back into premium, and then at some point it will come back towards the weak swing low. All right, so what we have is we have taken these highs, all right, at a sweep, and then price had a push down, and then right now price is pretty much ranging. Okay, it's not as impulsive in its move as in the previous days where we were bullish. Okay, and then similar story on the pound. On the pound, this was a bullish break of structure. We've had a pullback. Okay, and we've respected this extreme. Now we are pushing back up. We've had an internal break of structure, and we've swept this high, and then we had a reaction. So price could come back into this range. Okay, mitigate this range. We don't know how deep, but could mitigate this range and then possibly continue bullish towards this weak daily swing high. Okay, or price could just start continuing bearish until it takes out, or at least approaches this daily swing low. Okay, so that's what we have at the moment. So let's look at the 4-hour on the Euro USD. Okay, so this is our swing range, as you can see, swing range. All right, and then our internal shifted bullish after this break of structure, and then after sweeping these highs, all right, and then price had a strong reaction, bearish. So we have a new supply area right there, and then prices come up. It's failed to mitigate. It is possible it can still come in, mitigate, and then we could look for shorts if that happens. On the flip side, because here we had strong aggressive push, and then here we mitigated or filled this fair value gap, had a strong reaction, and then now we could be pushing to the upside. So let's look on the 15 minutes. This is the swing range that we're in. Okay, so 15-minute swing is bearish. Okay, that's the range. Price has been pulling up. Okay, well, now we've mitigated this zone, which is around equilibrium. Let's confirm. Yes. So this zone, which is just inside premium, okay, and then we have a reaction, okay. So price has been up, down, up, down, up, down, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, and then now failed. Did it fail? Okay, just made a higher high. Then now we've made a lower, a low. Okay, a lower low. Okay, so this could be the start. All right, or we could simply wait and see price sweep these areas. So let's see. Okay, this is now looking at the details. So we've had a sweep right there. Okay, and then gone on to make a low. Okay. So what else do we see? Now we could say this area we've had a strong that's the area that made this break. Okay, the structure break. Okay, this is the extreme. This is the decisional that made the structure break. Okay. So price could come in, mitigate this. All right, and possibly continue. Who knows? Or sweep these areas and then continue, or come up. All right, take a stab at this high one more time, since it's an Asia high as well. Okay, and even this overall high which we're looking at yesterday. Okay, and then possibly start to come down. So those are the three scenarios that I could be waiting to see, and how and observe how price develops. And then on the bullish side, this is the last demand area, internal, of course, where we've had this break of structure. Okay, and then price is pushed up. Okay, so what do we have now? Here we do have trend line. Okay, so this is definitely something to target. And then let's see what else. So just looking at this in terms of longs, there's not much that I can see. Okay, obviously price can do anything, so price could still come down and maybe sweep this low or even this low. Okay, and come down and then possibly have a reaction to the upside. Okay, so all those are possibilities. Okay, so let me just mark that as a possible scenario. This is 15. Okay, now you look at this and I see that's liquidity resting down there. Is there another one? Yeah, you could look at it differently, even like this. Okay, almost touching. Okay, so none of this possible liquidity to target. Right, price coming back to the week swing low. Okay, so those would be my trade ideas. Swing is bearish. All right, so my swing is bearish, so I'm more inclined to look for shorts towards this wick swing low. Okay, now we could still continue the pullback. Okay, the pullback could still be continuing, and could continue all the way up into the extreme. Okay, that is still a possibility as well. So we'll just react and see how price develops and see if there are any tradable situations. Okay, so let's look at the pound on the 4-hour. Okay, so looking at the pound, this is our range. Okay, this is our break, this is our strong low, this is currently our weak swing high, this is a liquidity point that we could target, relative we call lows. After breakout structure, we do expect price to pull back. We've had a strong reaction, missed the zone by a few pips. Okay, price could still push in a little bit. Okay, and then continue bearish, maybe targeting this relative equal loss. So looking at the 15-minute, this is what we have. Okay, so I've not marked that at the bottom. Okay, so current range, this is what we have. Current price action. Current price action, this was our last break of structure. That's our swing high, this is our swing low. We're having an internal pullback. We've mitigated this significant pullback, making it a decisional, or at least it's at the 50%, and then we're having a reaction. Now we haven't broken anything yet to the downside, so price could still push up. Okay, sweep these highs. All right, and then afterwards we could then look for shorts, possibly targeting any of these. Okay, areas here. Okay, so we could target any of that, as that could be resting liquidity. Okay. On the other side, if price decides to push down, okay, if price decides to continue, all right, we could take out all of this resting liquidity, and then maybe if we get a reaction, then we could look for longs to the upside. Okay, possibly look for longs to the upside. But once we get a second low, then we could just be looking for price to continue bearish until the relative equal lows down here. Okay, down there. So that will obviously develop as the week continues. Okay, so yeah, so from the bullish side, there's not much really. I think the bias is mainly bearish, so that's what we should probably, that's what should be more favorable, okay, to look out for. Okay, so those are my trade ideas for today. Not much in the way of analysis today, but yeah, those are my trade ideas. So don't forget to like and subscribe and share and leave a comment if you find value in this material. Otherwise, have a great day, and Working Trader out.